Hello,
Hey, hey, hey.
hello.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, when you send that link,
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm late. I just had a couple things I was doing. But
No, that's fine.
when you
You're
send that
good.
link, send it to my Sam.
Oh, was that what you were looking for?
Oh no. I was late because I'm trying to fix my thing here, but no, I was late.
Yeah, you're fine.
I got
I'm not mad at you. How could I ever be mad at you? Oh, if I get mad at this guy, he'll scream at me. And we don't want him to scream at me. We want
No,
him to
you're
scream at
lucky
you.
there.
We want him to scream at you guys, not me.
That's right. I'm all screwed up here, dude. I'm like, I hate when I have to rush, but I had a very bad day with my knees and stuff, so
Oh,
I had to soak in the tub. Don't tell anybody.
oh, no, nobody will know. It'll be our secret. Just like this, were you naked in the tub? That's our secret too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're fine. You seem all right. You got
All right. Is that okay?
your guitar in the background and your car
That's my
posters.
Sam Pearson guitar.
Yeah, that's very
He played
nice.
the wild thing.
Yeah, that's the original one, right?
Yep,
See,
absolutely.
I'm not bullshitting, man. Everybody, this guy's as legit as butter is legit. You know, I tell you. Yeah, what do you think of that, man? That still shocks me.
That's me. I try to put it in the background so people can see it, but
Yeah. It is what it is. So, well,
yeah,
it's
I use my my main one. I use that one uh for the people chatting.
Sure.
Yeah. Are we live right now?
Yeah, we're live right now. I guess my buddy wants to come on right now. He doesn't want to wait until 7:30, so it's just like, all right, well, I might as well send him an invite and do it now before he decides not to come on.
Yeah, let's get him out while you're hot.
All right, I'll send him the link right now. I'm sending him the same one that I sent to you because I figured, well, did it ask you to do anything at all? Like,
it runs me through. It runs me through the whole thing every time.
Okay, so it doesn't matter which link you click on. It'll have you. Okay, do like passcodes.
The top one works better.
Okay, because it only gives me two different type of invites to send, so I didn't know if they're all the same or not. But.
Yeah, I can't find it on Facebook, so whatever, it'll pop up.
Well, Bob, if you're watching me live right now, if you're watching the show, if you want to come in now, you can. If I was hoping you'd wait till about 7:30, that way we can, do our shtick, and then at about 7:30 you come pop in. You have the link now, so if you have any problems with it, just let me know. Hopefully, it'll help. It'll let you in. But about 7:30, because I figure we like to do kind of our own little warm up, kind of, or whatever, just kind of like our. What do you say? Our opening monologue? Is that what you call that?
Yeah, I guess.
Is that too late night show for you there, Sam? Or is that just like, when I say the word monologue?
What's that?
When I say the word monologue, is that kind of like too late night for you? Or?
That's like too early.
Too early.
I want to fucking monologue now. Do that around 11 o'clock. So we'll be back at 11 o'clock, folks, with our I can't say the word. Dude, I can't say the word.
Monologue.
Monologue.
Yeah.
Monologue. I don't know.
A monologue is just like your opener. I'm sure it's like, I mean, just your opening segment or whatever.
And I used to do that on when I had a show, when I used to do like the first I started my TV show, I used to do like a Jay Leno skit, come out, do some jokes and stuff, and then sit down in my chair and interview people. But that only lasts like a couple of scenes. And I said, heck with that. You know how hard it is to make people like, you're on the camera, you don't know if people are laughing, you know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure they're laughing. I'm sure
I did
inside and the outside.
Yeah, I did it my way.
Oh, are you Frank Sinatra now? Are you going to do a Frank Sinatra cover?
That's my favorite song, dude. I'm going to record a song tomorrow, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, you ever hear Hurt, Johnny Cash?
Yes, I have.
That's my favorite song in the whole world. And
I think it's
I
like
was in the tub, I sang it 4 times with the karaoke version,
uh-huh.
and I got to try to lay that out, man.
Yeah, but that's kind of a depressing song, though. That's not a fun song to sing.
I know, because I'm depressed.
Well, what the fuck you gotta be depressed about? A successful guy like you, jeez. What do you gotta be depressed about?
It's called body parts, okay? And I don't mean my truck, I mean me.
Well, what's wrong with you? Tell me what's wrong with you.
All my body parts hurt.
Okay, well, put some lotion on it. Rub some dirt on it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, if you're watching the show, get on the chat, man, and chat with us. Tell us how you feel today. Come on, man, we need you.
Yeah, the Vikings absolutely sucked again. You know, as I'll say, as an extreme fan of football, you know, like you're a typical fan, right?
I'm not a Viking fan. I'm a Steelers fan.
Oh.
And they lost too.
Oh, so it's a good day for everybody. I think the biggest surprise, I think, if you're going to talk about football, is the fact that Detroit Lions beat the Super Bowl champions.
You see, that's one thing I'm not good at is sports. That's why I have Waterboy, because he's good at that stuff. So he could tell us all about the sports when he's on. You know, he could tell us about things, and you know.
Well, we had him on last week. It was fun. That was
he's going to be on next week. I think he might be a part of our show, right?
Well, I told him if you want to be a part of the panel, we're more than welcome you.
I think he wants to.
We're still waiting for your Wildman guy, Wildman Vince, to come on.
Wildman, listen to me. I don't want to bring Wildman on tonight because you have a serious guest tonight.
Okay.
And he might get out of control, but next week we'll show you Wildman Vince. We don't need another guest next week because this guy will blow your mind.
Here's why I the original idea why I wanted Bob on tonight. Well, first of all, he got a hold of me unexpectedly, told me that he could come on. When I didn't know for sure if he could. Last week it didn't work out because of Labor Day and all that. So I wasn't sure if he could go on or not. He got a hold of me and said he could come on for today's episode. I know pretty much everything there is to know about the guy. I've had him on my other shows, you know, many times. We've hung out, we know each other. You know, this guy is a legit dude. The thing is that I have interviewed him so many times and I know this guy so well, but you don't know him. You see, exactly. I want you to be the guy, being the main interviewer on this for this thing. I did this mostly for you because I want you to get to know this guy because you and him have a lot in common that you probably don't even realize, and you will realize it probably by the end of the night, and you'll start to say to yourself, "Wow, this was pretty amazing." You know, this guy and I we hit it off pretty well, and he owns a bar just like you do. He's an entertainer, just like you were.
Oh, he owns a bar too?
Yeah, he does.
No
and it's
kidding.
Almost around the same theme as what you have.
Does he want to buy another bar?
His bar's doing pretty good. I mean, you know, it's just based on the area and what, you know, he's trying to bring music back to, like, you know how bars used to bring bands and stuff, you know, back in the day. There's a lot of bars around in our area that don't do that anymore. They have stopped that. Well, Bob's trying to do that. And he's been pretty successful at it. You know, some events are better than others. Some, you know, it is what it is. But he's not giving up. He's a young guy. He's in his mid-40s, a blues guy. He makes beautiful music. He's been in an independent blues band for all his life. He knows so many people in the music industry. It's just unbelievable. He's helped me out in so many different ways. I mean, we've had our ups and downs too, of course, you know. But the point being is that I would trust this guy with my life. And, you know, he is a real legit brother, you know, from another mother, so to speak.
I'm excited. I was excited to hear because when we first started doing our shows, you know, we weren't all about porn stars and strippers all the time. We had bands.
Yeah.
We did, you know, like the people who sing, like on the stage, they'd have like a video recorder with the singing and stuff like that, almost like a karaoke style thing. We had a couple of those guys on, which they were good singers, you know what I mean?
But, absolutely. Yeah. When you're really serious about it, you know, good things happen. Everything, you know, just happens like it should. You know,
I'm a good singer. Wild thing, I think I move
you. Yeah, well, how are you remembering the parts where when Sam actually like was trying to, you know, scream out the verses and everything. And
Well, when I did the CD, I made a CD. I have a CD out. I mean, it's not out anywhere, but I give it away when I see people. And I actually read it meant to make it precise. You know what I mean? And I did. I had a song written for me from somebody. It was an old song about the war. So my DVD, my CD has, you know, two of those songs and Wild Thing, and then Are You Lonesome Tonight? You ever hear Sam do Are You Lonesome Tonight? It's like the best.
Oh wow!
I do it in that style. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. No, I've never. That's pretty cool. I've never heard those. I mean, I've heard Are You Lonesome Tonight. Of course, obviously that's Elvis, song or whatever. But I can imagine which way he would have done it, or how he would have done it.
Yeah, I also have a DVD. I have a DVD out too that we used to sell online.
Okay.
And that does, I have a bunch of them, but that's more or less like a swinger thing.
But you see, that's what I'm trying to say. That's kind of what you guys have in common with. You're independent people in the entertainment business that sometimes you have stuff that isn't always out there online.
Like my neighbor's online right now, Timmy. His name's Timmy Caducci.
Okay.
And these people don't know who I used to be. You know what I mean? Because they just know this John Lutz guy moved up from Florida, but they don't know the entertainment I was in, the stuff that I'd done. I mean, Timmy, you might not like me after that, but we're still buddies, right? I used to spank girls in the butt. I mean, I used to do all that stuff, man. I had fun doing that stuff. So yeah. Sean, I love your face when I start talking about spanking chicks in the butt, because when you're working with Screaming Sam, you don't know what's going to come out of his mouth.
Yeah, only you. I can only just picture that, just on a cold winter's day, Santa Sam comes and starts spanking everybody, all the people on the naughty list, in the butt.
Screaming Sam, baby.
That's funny. That is funny.
They beg for that stuff.
Yeah. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they're like, that's the first thing on their list. You want to get spanked by Screaming Sam. That make my list, and I will not be a ho no more.
Yeah. How many times you interviewed me, Sean, when I was doing Sam?
I think we've done 3 interviews. And this is over the course of time.
Back in the day.
Yeah, like 10 years ago. That's when I first met you. And then we did it once when I was in South Dakota. And then just a couple of years ago, we did one.
Right. And I did it out of my garage.
And I was trying to tell people, who wonder about the show, because I've had some people ask me a little bit now that we're kind of, we're on episode 4, so we're kind of getting established a little bit now, somewhat. And I've had some people ask, like, what the hell are you doing? What's the purpose of the show? I said, well, you come in and you find out. I mean, it's nothing that we really. I like to have some segments that are organized a little bit as we get going more. But in the beginning, it's just like we just did an episode last Monday, so it's already Sunday already. So it was kind of a quick week, just kind of,
Right.
I didn't want to confuse everybody thinking that we're just going to be on Mondays now or whatever. We just did that because of the holiday and everything. Because everybody was busy, but most of the time it'll be on Sundays.
For the answer to the question, the purpose of this show is, we want to come up with some material so we make you guys laugh, or maybe get you guys involved in it. You know what I mean? Like, if you have a talent and we don't have nobody on the show that night, I'd be glad to put you on with us and we have fun. Yeah, it's about having fun. My other show was all sexual, and that's why we had to hit. Seriously.
No, I believe you. I believe you.
Comedians, then we start doing sexual shit, and that's how and if comedians, when they swear on stage, they capture all the audiences, but the guy don't swear, don't get as much unless he's real good. So that's why, just picture this: I'm on stage trying to be clean, but fuck it, sometimes I can't. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you gotta be yourself. I mean, really.
There goes Frankie.
Frankie, yeah.
That's why we get along good, because we're like the odd couple. I'm the crazy guy and you're the neat guy. You know what I mean?
Well, I like to keep things a little bit more, like segmented, somewhat, it's just what we used to do on my radio show too. And I said I had a buddy that's kind of like around your age or whatever that, His name was Reb, and we get along. We you know, I mean, over the course of time, we got along okay. We had a radio station in his house. You know, he wanted a radio station in his house. I think mostly so he could tell people what the fuck to do, pretty much. He's one of those conspiracy guys or whatever. I didn't know that at the time. I just thought we were doing a radio station because we wanted to have some fun and see where it goes. And I was the one that got all the gas. I was the one that did all the work. I pretty much did pretty much everything just to make him look good, you know.
Right,
now,
right.
on this situation, this is not
by
how
all
that
means,
goes.
I don't want you to do that for me. I will get gas. I mean,
I know.
I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't know if it's the Sunday night thing. I mean, Monday night, we had our radio shows Monday night, and our radio shows was jammed. And we had like I said, we did the TV stuff, the video.
Yeah.
And that show was jammed on a Wednesday night. Now, Sunday nights, you don't know. I mean, some people.
Well, you did the public access stuff, so I'm sure you had to make sure you had permission to do this and do that and whatever. I make sure that you had the right guests.
Anything we wanted.
Oh, well, you know what I mean though. Like you could like when you set your time to make it seem like Sundays were better or Mondays were better or whatever. You know, I'm sure you had somebody that was behind the scenes that helped you get a guest. Did you have to do it all by yourself?
No, there's people, we had people, like, as far as the strippers and the porn stars and all that, we had a couple guys going out promoting our show. They would actually get girls getting right in, like turning 18 and want to be a porn star. They'd be first on my show before they start making a video. That's how good that part was. But as far as the comedian stuff, you know, like I'd be out like talking to people, and I'd get them on my show, you know what I mean? Just like at the comedy clubs. I used to hang out at the comedy clubs, and I would get people to come on the show because, you know, they like the way I look like Sam. I'm sorry, guys, if you come on my show and you're like, you don't look like Sam. I apologize for that, but like I told Frankie, I'm trying to do a different version of the show, but next week I may shave, I may not. We're going to be revealing that.
I doubt it, but whatever.
The only problem I have is it takes guys 5 years to grow a beard like this. It only took me 3 months. So I could grow that back if I wanted to, you know what I mean? But
you still got time. You still got time for Christmas. You still got a few months.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely.
But, I apologize if you think I'm going to come on a show and be like Sam Kinison and scream and this and that. We didn't do that on my old show. I used to scream whenever we took a break.
Yeah.
Go, oh, you know, but I'm sorry if you like looking forward to that, because this ain't that kind of show. Me and Frankie are trying something different. I'm trying to, you know, I'm going to be writing some new stuff for the show, and we'll be, you know, we'll be good.
Oh yeah.
If it doesn't work, we say fuck it and then go back to our old jobs. I'll be a Walmart greeter. I don't know what you do.
Oh, my job. Well, you know, my job is pretty simple. What I do, I go out and just be myself. You know, just be me in a public world. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give too much away to what I do for a living. I tell you on the private side or whatever. You know what I really do.
Oh, I know. I'm just jogging around.
But I tell you what, though,
I'm a Walmart greeter.
You know, last week when we were talking about that, you know, like, you know, of course, because of the lag or whatever, you know, I had to talk over you all the time. But I was thinking about that. Imagine this guy as Screaming Sam as a Walmart greeter. And I tell you what, some of the people around here need a greeter like you to put them into their place. That'd be a fun segment. If you were close by and live real close, or if I was close to you.
Oh, we do that as a tape.
We go over there and tape it, and we do. Oh man, it'd be fun. And hopefully we won't get kicked out too much.
When I check their ticket and they have something that's not done, I'll drop kick the motherfuckers.
No, can't be violent now. You gotta treat the sweet old ladies with respect, even if they piss you off and everything.
I don't give a shit. We'll drop kick them anyway, throw them in a cart and take them out to their car.
You get one old lady like saying, yeah, one lady who would be like, "Who the fuck are you? Why are you taking in my cart? I paid for everything." Why? I was trying to have a nice day, and this bearded guy dressed up like fucking Santa Claus. You know,
looks like Sam Kinison fuck Santa Claus and had a baby.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on? He claims he's a Walmart greeter, but it doesn't look like one. It's like, oh, did you get paid today, sir, or what?
Oh my God.
Fun times anyway, that's for sure. That is for sure. I was gonna say with last week's episode, to get to know Waterboy was pretty good, and I'm glad that he's going to be coming on a regular because he seems like he's a very well educated guy. Because the way you made it describe to me at first when I was thinking in my head of how you were describing it to me, I thought this is going to be like some stupid guy or a stupid person that just
very talented,
whatever.
Very.
But I was so wrong. Man.
Dude, he's a businessman. He's a fucking excellent businessman.
That's
this is his
awesome.
first vacation in 2 weeks or 2 years. He don't take vacation, works 7 days a week. He has time to write books. He has time to do. He's a good guy, and he'll be here for us. That's what's nice about him. Other than this tonight, he's in Vegas trying to spend some money, trying to get some pussy or something. I don't know.
I wish you do like I wish you do like a live on location thing or something, or do like a recorded piece for us for next week, and be like, "Hey, this Waterboy here in Vegas."
I would do that. I would do that if I was that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was gonna if I had internet on my phone, I would have went back in the woods and did the show. Back in my woods.
Sure. You're like, hey,
deer.
Oh yeah. Like, because I'm an animal whisperer now. I'm even saying.
Yeah.
Let's talk to Mr. Deer over here. Oh, hi, Mr. Deer. And then the deer starts talking like, "Hey, Sam, how you doing? How the fuck are you?" So anyway, I was gonna real quick before we get to Bob here. I want to share something here. I was going to do this last week, but I decided not to do it. But we'll do it this week here. I don't know what you'll see and whatever, but I'm sure you'll see what I see kind of like last time. There's a trend going on in the world. I don't know if you're familiar with what trends or what anymore. If you watch TikTok much at all or whatever. I don't know what you do in your personal life when you're on the computer or whatever.
I like TikTok. I like TikTok and Facebook.
Okay. There's a trend going on, and maybe this is something that you might have to record with your grandson. Just don't tell him that you're going to do this to him at all. Just make it a surprise. It's called the egg or cracking an egg on little kids' heads.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. So I'm going to show you, for those who aren't familiar, which you should because it's everywhere. Here's a little clip of that.
Ow! That hurt. I wanted to crack it.
I just thought this was funny. Because they're not expecting it, It's just like,
Yeah.
Oh, don't cry.
Go, crank it. Woo!
I got to do that to my grandson.
Yeah, it seems this unexpectedly,
Okay.
No.
And
That's
then,
funny.
Yeah.
Two?
Stop it!
Ready? Here.
Hi.
Ow.
I don't know. I just thought that was kind of
I like
funny.
that. Dude, that has to hurt. I don't care. It has to shock him and hurt him.
People can understand kind of what we're trying to do too, but like, we're not trying to make it like, a Sam show, but since you're on here, I just figure, it's probably been a while since you've seen some of the clips, I would say.
Right.
And it's not like you're
Well, you know
doing
what it is?
research all the time.
I get so many people to send me stuff on Messenger. Everything you think of says Sam Kinsden, they send me on Messenger. I get a lot of videos, which I think is great.
Well, Bob, whenever you're ready, because I'm sure he's watching the live feed right now. Just come on in if you're having any problems or whatever. Let John or let myself know, or Sam. Let Sam or myself know. And if you're having any issues, but you shouldn't have any issues, I don't think. Come in whenever you're ready.
If I could do it, you could do it. Trust me.
That's right. And the one thing I'm kind of glad that we kind of stayed away from, and if you kind of didn't know, tomorrow happens to be another anniversary for 9/11. And I just kind of wanted to kind of stay, like, I didn't tell you this before, but I was hoping I didn't have to, and I'm just going to say it anyway. I just wanted to stay away from talking about 9/11 this time around. Because, you know, all the years of the other shows that have been done and over the course of time, it just gives the terrorists another chance to win. Because they did win on that day, and it's sad to admit that. And it's just like, I feel like no matter how much we talk about it, no matter how much we pay tribute to it,
You can't
or
stop it.
whatever.
You can't bring it back.
Well, we can't fix what happened.
Right.
You know, we
Right.
can only, it's only going to be a memory in our lives. So I figured this time, let's be the show this year that doesn't talk about it. Even though I did bring it up, but you know what I
Right.
mean. So
Well,
that's
you'll
why.
be that water boy in here today because he would have brought that up.
Oh, I'm sure, but it's just like, I'm so sick and tired of hearing about 9/11. Even when it's not 9/11, you know, people just keep talking about it. Just like talking about January 6th when they had that Capitol, you know, carnage and everything. I'm just like, I'm so sick and tired of hearing about all this stuff in the political world. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm
let's
tired.
make our
I'm
show.
tired of politics myself.
Oh, absolutely. Just too much. It's just
Yep.
too much. But yeah, so I mean, the classic clips and stuff, you know, I love YouTube so much, and I love TikTok, and I love all these different sites that you can find pretty much anything. And it's so amazing how nowadays you can find like that clip that we watched with Sam Kinison. I didn't even know he was on Saturday Night Live. I mean,
Oh yeah. The first time he was on there, I don't know if you ever heard a story about that.
No.
First time he was on Saturday Night Live, they asked him not to do any Jesus jokes or anything like that.
Sure.
And of course, it's Sam Kinison, so he started doing it. And they actually shut his mic down and everything. And they said he wasn't welcome back. And people start sending real shit like feces in envelopes to Saturday Night Live.
Oh, wow.
Because they said Sam Kinison's not allowed anymore. So after they got harassed so long, they brought him back on. And I guess they knew not to fucking say anything though, because.
So this was the second time then, the second
No,
appearance.
that was the first time. Then he was invited on after that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the only time that he was on then, or was
No,
he
he
on
was on a
another?
few times. He was on a few times after that. They let him back on.
Because I was thinking that's probably like an early 80s or early 80s or late 80s, early 90s clip, but I didn't really see what year it was made at all. But with the young Dana Carvey, I mean, that guy, God, I didn't realize that guy made so many good films and stuff back in the day before he was on Saturday Night Live. That's amazing. Everybody knows him like from Wayne's World and certain other films and whatever, but they don't know his back catalog, you know. So
Right.
yeah.
So we're just waiting on our guest, folks.
That's true. So
what's his name? Little Tim.
Little Bobby.
Little Bobby. Yeah, he was on there, I think. Little Bobby said, "Bring Wild Man." He wants Wild Man Benz.
He wants the Wild Man, you know.
He wants Wild Man on there, man. I love Wild Man. He's my buddy, dude. I'm telling you, we did a lot of stuff together. But Dean, I felt really good last week doing a show.
Yeah.
With my old coworker, I guess you could say, because we did a lot of stuff together. We had fun.
Oh, absolutely.
So, folks, I see people online, but they ain't chatting with us. I don't know what it is.
Well, I mean, we got like a John Wayne Leonard. We got who else do we got? I'd have to update
my son's on there, Johnny Lutz.
Oh, okay.
My neighbor Timothy.
Ah, well, that's cool. Yeah, I'll probably say hi to some of these people.
Hopefully, in about a month or two, that'll be like thousands on there.
Yeah, well, Justin Lenz is on here. You know, you and him are buddies. They're from Thief River. The guy with the funny haircut, anyway. Don Daughters is on. I know who that is. There's a guy named John Lutz. I don't know who that is.
That's me. Yeah.
Yeah. Rep Fuller, Tracy Ellis, and John Wayne Leonard and Johnny Lutz so far.
Yep.
Not a whole lot of people, but I'm sure there's a lot of people just watching the stream. But I've tried to share it around with as many people as I could, and
me
just
too.
to give people an idea.
I asked for support. The reason why I asked for support, because it's not like I never got support from anybody, because when I did my shows in Pittsburgh was a big supporting time for me. But it seems like it's just the people that I don't know. The people I know never come, like they don't support my bar, they don't support my shows, you know what I'm saying? Some people do. But especially family and friends, dude. I mean, dude, they may be worse than other people as far as support goes. And that's why I asked for people to come on a show and support me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But a
No,
lot of people watch after the fact because I have people tell me all week, "Oh, I saw your show and shit, dude. It's pretty good." And I'll be like, "Oh, did you see?" They go on YouTube or they see it on Facebook. You know what I mean? Because it's on my link too.
Sure.
Or it's on my timeline.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a good job promoting it. We also have a Renegade Radio page that currently we're working on, or I'm giving you
Yeah,
the power to.
I need you to send that to Sam Lutz because all my stuff I have is on Sam Lutz.
Okay.
I hardly have anything on my the John Lutz page. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's where I keep that personal.
Yeah.
So I don't want people feel like, oh, this Jagoff don't add me as a friend. It's because I try to keep it, personal or family, whatever. And then
Sure.
go on Sam Lutz and I'll add anybody on there.
Okay.
But don't ask me like, hey, you want to buy this? You want to buy? No, I'm not buying dick. And I don't like chat, so fuck you. Don't be chatting with me.
Oh, he loves to chat with everybody. He be your modern day grandpa.
Yeah, my son just mentioned my t-shirts. What's your show? It was funny because there's down in Florida. We lived there. We went to this bar. It was all Stiller stuff at the bar. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
And this, we took my son. He was young and one of his teachers, because this is when we did all the porn shit and stuff.
Oh, sure.
One of his teachers, he goes, "Oh, there's my teacher." She goes, "Oh, Screaming Sam." She goes, "I'm a big fan of yours. I watch your show." And she goes, "Is this your dad?" Dude, he was so embarrassed.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, your son probably didn't realize what was going on, or maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But I'm sure after a while he figured it out. But
well, his dad Screaming Sam. What the fuck? Like he took me to school for career day. I swore in front of the class, and he was in like second. I don't know what grade you were on, Johnny, but he was young. He was like second grade, third grade, maybe. I don't know, maybe fifth grade. And they threw me out of school. I was fine.
Yeah.
I was fine about my tow truck company, my bar business, my vending. As soon as I mentioned Screaming Sam, I swore.
Oh,
so
sure.
it's something about Screaming Sam.
Well, you probably didn't like that you swore in front of little kids. It probably was like an Uncle Buck moment, almost like, or something.
It is what it is. You know what I mean?
See this big guy
bring
with the
your kids in, folks. Fuck them. Bring them in and watch the show.
Family entertainment, like Sam would say. It's family entertainment.
Bring them in. We'll learn them some stuff.
Because what was going on? You were probably wearing a big trench coat at the time, probably trying to do your Sam thing, maybe, or whatever. And
well, it was pretty much back in the day. I pretty much did. I mean, I was in the Sam mood all the time. You know what I mean? Everywhere I went, I did do the Sam thing, and people loved me, and people would accept me. Cops would pull me over. One cop, me and my buddy was sitting in his parking lot. A cop pulls up, make sure we're okay, and then I gave my card, and he was laughing. There he is on his computer. This is before they got tight. He's on his computer looking at my fucking webpage, looking at Screaming Sam.
Yeah. He's just having an issue getting on here, which I kind of figured he would. What's going on there, Darren Foss? Darren, how you doing? Good to see you. Or good to see that you're on here on the chat anyway.
Yeah, Darren. Thank you for your support, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Even just watching is supporting. Some people probably think that when you say the word support, they probably think you're talking money or whatever. But I mean, money is great, whatever. But I'd rather have an audience full of people, just watching the show every week. I don't care so much about if we make money or whatever.
Right.
At the end of the day, I care more about the audience and what they prefer. But I share this stuff on my Greenbush Sell and Swap page, which is actually just a sell and swap page that I created like 10 years ago or over 10 years ago. And some people still think that it's wrong for me because it is my page and I'm letting everybody come on and inviting everybody so they can sell their shit and everything, locally and all that. And there's still some people that have a problem with me posting stuff like this or anything that's media or whatever. And I'm just like, hey, come on. I said a long time ago that you guys can post whatever you want, just don't make it dirty. If I post anything that's a little off, I apologize, but I try not to. It's just, I see these funny memes and I want to cheer people up if you're having a bad day or whatever,
Right.
make everybody happy. And that's why I post all these funny things. It's not because
Don't
I'm
ever
crazy.
apologize for that because it's your, it's your gig. You put it together. You should be able to do what you want on it.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
people,
care about people like that.
around here, especially in my neck of the woods, we have a lot of sophisticated people that we call them non-rule breakers. That will feel like they are full of sin or whatever, or not trying to get too religious or whatever, but feel like they can't do no wrong, at all in their life.
Right.
And these
right.
are the people that probably eat cheese pizza, probably like flat beer and flat
No,
pop.
pineapple pizza.
No, cheese pizza, because I feel that's the worst. Pineapple is giving them too much credit to it. I feel anyway. Maybe in your neck of the woods is a whole different ballgame, but I don't like plain boring people. I like exciting people. I'm not expecting everybody to like everything that I do or whatever, but it's my page. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. Okay. And if you don't like it, then don't be a part of it.
Right.
That's what I say. All right. Looks like he's
I
got
don't
on
know,
here.
I don't know who John Wayne is. Oh, Lenhart. He said, I don't know who we are. I think he's on my page. But this is what I used to look like, John. I mean,
there you go.
I ain't going back to that again.
That's
already been in my life.
What if you could reverse time and do it all over again? Would you do it again if you did? You think so?
What's that?
If you
Would
could
I do it again?
Yeah, if you could reverse time and do it all over again.
Yes, I would do it again. Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
I just have to let people know I did not make money on it. I mean, I wasn't a money maker guy. I used to give shit away. I used to do shows for free. I used to do a show in Pittsburgh. The guy would come up with an envelope. It's called the Backdraft Bar. And my buddy would come with an envelope and give me an envelope for doing a show, and I donated back. I said, no, I don't want it. You know what I mean? Because I had money. I didn't give a shit.
That's right. That's right. Speaking of money, here's Mr. Money himself, Bobby. I'm just kidding. How's it going, man? How you doing?
And what did Darren say? He created a page too.
I'm starting to wake up here. I'm having me a glass of cognac, and by the looks of it, you're still a virgin. You got a damn fucking Goonies shirt on. What the hell, Sam? You got to get this guy laid.
Well, I don't know if he can do that virtually, but maybe he could. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no. I don't even know if you guys can see me. He probably didn't tell you I'm legally blind.
Oh, Roy?
No, I didn't. I didn't. I left that
handsome as hell.
Yeah, you too.
What's he drinking? What's he drinking, man?
I'm drinking cognac.
Cognac. Let me see.
Crevassier.
We have coffee. We're a bunch of bitches on this end.
Yeah, I have tea. Raspberry tea. So as you probably know, Bob, if you've been watching.
You guys see me all right?
Yeah, we can see it.
Or it looks like it's a little dark or something.
Yeah.
Oh, she's fine.
Perfect. I look sexy in the dark.
That's right. No, I tell you what, Sam, this man here, I love this man so much because he has been, I've known him for 20 years. We went to school together. We went to college together, and we got to know each other pretty well in that form through a little thing called broadcasting, like what we're doing right now. But we did it on the radio. And
right.
And then when I found out that he was a performer, that he played music on the side, and that was the gig that he's always wanted to do, I was blown away. He gave me some CDs and stuff that was I felt radio material because I feel everything belongs on the radio when it comes to music, not just a hit song or whatever, just because it's popular. But anyway, we just hit it off so well, and we just we've had a pretty good history. Back in the day, I used to help him like a long time ago, like in the early days. I helped him like with posters and stuff for his gigs, that we promote throughout whatever the area. Right. This guy knows a lot. He knows a lot about music. He knows a lot about a lot of things, and he's had an up and down life or whatever. But you know what? He's made it. He's
That's what I like to hear, man. That's what I like to hear.
Of success. So. As I said, I've interviewed him many times, and I know him pretty well. I'm doing this more for you, Sam, because you guys have a lot in common, and I want you guys to get to know each other. So. You
Well,
can
he's
take
saying-
my-
The first thing I can think of that we have in common is we're way more funnier than you are.
Hey, Bobby. I don't know if you saw, but you see my picture before I grew a beard?
No,
Do you see
I
that?
just
That's how I used to look like that.
yeah, no, I'm a Sam Kinison fan. My favorite two comedians from the 80s. Actually, I got three of them. Sam, Rodney, and who's that
Right.
cat? I can't think of his. Yeah, no, you look just like him, man. You need to come up here and make these motherfuckers laugh up in Minnesota. But I can
Hey, you
already
never know.
tell you're funny.
Oh,
Well, I
yeah.
try to be, but I get shut down a lot by Sean, by Frankie.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever. This is an open platform. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
I'm
you
only
know?
kidding. I'm
That's
only
right.
kidding. Look at Frankie. He gets mad fast.
He's sensitive.
Yeah, like my skin is so sensitive, you know, so
So
sensitive.
hey, Bobby, I heard, do you own a bar or something like that?
Oh man, don't ever do it if you ever get a chance.
I have one. 28, I have a bar. I own a bar 28 years.
And
in
I heard
Pittsburgh,
alcohol
Pennsylvania.
makes you age, and if you own a bar and you drink alcohol, you age even
Well, see, that's my
faster.
thing. I don't drink, so I don't drink and I don't go near it. That's why I make money, I guess.
Oh yeah, that shit costs a lot of money to keep a buzz going.
Yeah. I asked him, he says, "Oh, he owns a bar." I says, "You want to buy another one?"
No.
Let's get into your music, man. I want to hear about your music. Tell me a little bit about little Bobby, man.
Well, I just grew up in a musical family, so it wasn't like anything was different than my family from anybody else. That's just all I knew. My grandpa was a country music player who was I don't know what the politically correct thing, because there was, oh, you can't call us that, but even the Indians hate being called Indians. You know what I mean? But my grandpa was from the Turtle Mountain Reservation, and it's a real musical tribe up there. That a lot of the traditional Ojibwe or Chippewa, whatever you used to hearing or whatever, a lot of it came from my bloodline. So it goes farther back. I'm going to get sidetracked because I'm really long-winded. I don't know if any of you guys ever were talking about Native Americans and music. Have you guys seen that documentary Rumble yet?
No.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
You all need to watch it. I keep telling. Once you watch it, you will look at American music a whole different way, and it's
Really?
very tribal. I mean, I talk because I've been around the blues. You know, I don't know why, because I hate making money. I guess. It's just,
No, I love the blues, man. I'm telling you, I love any kind of music. I'm not big in country, but I listen to it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
one of my favorite guys is Jelly Roll.
Oh yeah, I mean it's crazy how he blew up, and that was kind of like underground a few years ago, and
It was
also
unbelievable.
same with the Chris Stapleton. I mean, you can't deny great music, no matter what it is. And I've been telling this story a lot in the last couple of years because I believe it was last year. I don't know that since I've owned this bar, they all kind of seem like the same day. But a friend of mine, my best friend Brittany, brought me to Chris Stapleton here about let's say a year ago or last year. What I can't get out of my mind is my first image of Chris. And I seen him in Mississippi, and I had these producer friend of mine who was actually doing whatever the last White Snake album was. I know David Coverdale does a lot of blues stuff, but so I went there with his guitar player, my buddy, this producer, Gary. You got to come hear this fiddle player. And I was like, I don't want to go hear no fucking fiddle, you know. But then when we got there, I was more pissed off because I had to pay $5 to get into this fucking place. But that's who it was the Steel Drivers and Chris Stapleton. And that's the image I got in my mind of him, you know, up until this point, that there's this room of 20 people that really didn't give a shit. And, you know, we had a beer, you know, I bought him a beer and he bought me one back. At least he was nice like that, bought one back. But then going to this stadium over in Grand Forks, that's about an hour from where I live now, and seeing thousands of people singing every word, it's just like so mind blowing. You just never know. I mean, you get the right song. I mean, look at, you know, the Tennessee whiskey phenomenon. You know, when black people are singing white people music, that's a hit song, you know, because I was playing with Kenny Neal, who just won a Grammy here back in 2019. and he came out to this after party that was playing at this festival, because this festival wouldn't fucking hire me. So I played the after party so I could hang out with. And he showed up. Everybody's like, he ain't coming out here. He just won a Grammy. Oh yeah, he showed up. So me and his brothers, they wanted to sing Tennessee Whiskey. And I was like, I almost fell over because they're from, you know, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh shit.
It's like, really? Like, you guys want to jam? Let's jam Tennessee Whiskey. But I mean, look at, you know, my grandpa played with George Jones for a number of years back
Oh wow.
in the 60s. And a lot of people, you know, now they probably know because it's gotten out that that's an old George Jones song.
Right.
And basically all he did is take, I'd rather go blind and sing George's lyrics on it. And, you know, look at him go. You know, he's as big as Michael Jackson damn near was back in the early 80s. Can't do no wrong.
No. Now you sing, you have a band you sing with, or you do like a solo thing?
No, I hire different guys. Most of the time, some of the same ones show up. A drummer I've been using, because he keeps saying yes every time I call him. He's like, oh, even if he's got a gig, he'll like try to make arrangements. But he was a drummer for like Magic Slim and the Teardrops out of Chicago. And he's from the west side of Chicago. He was
Okay.
the house drummer for the Checkerboard in the south side of Chicago, which, you know, if you dig deep enough in the balls of the internet on YouTube, you'll see him playing the drums behind the Stones when I go there to, you know, because Muddy was the house band there.
Right.
So, I mean, he's got a lot of history. He's about to be 75 years old, but people don't even think he's barely 50. You know, it's like the darker the skin, it seems like shit, them motherfuckers be aging.
Yeah. You ain't kidding.
But like him, and then Bernard Ellison's bass player sometimes plays with me. And I just played with this cat who is from the north side of Minneapolis. He's a keyboard player for the Commodores. And Alan's like, I got this keyboard player. You want me to bring him with? And I was like, who is it? And he's like, it's Pierre Lewis. And I was like, can he play? And he's like, oh yeah, he plays with the Commodores. I was like, well, you know, that's good
Bring him
enough
on.
for me. Yeah, that's good enough for me.
Bring him on.
But we were sitting, you know, so we've had like a stretch of a week of gigs. So we're just, you know, they came up a day or two early and we're just sitting there visiting. And it was like, yeah, I made this record back in the 70s. And he goes, in the 90s, my sister's friend wanted to buy if I had any of these records left. And he's like, yeah, I got about 200 and some. He goes, well, I'll give you $500 a piece from this. Is the 90s. We were like throwing fuckers in the garbage back then.
Right.
And I was like, well, why the fuck would they buy that record? What is it? And he's like, well, me and my friend from high school that I grew up with, who was Prince. And that was the first record he'd been on, was the Lewis Connection. And it's got to be something here is the name of the track, but it's pretty interesting. Just so you could hear how far he developed in them short few years as far as his vocal style. And it's like, okay.
Prince.
And I was like, yeah, you got any more of those? He's like, yeah, I wish they did, because they're worth, you know, they're about worth, people give you 50 grand for them now, because they only made 1,000 copies of them, you know, back in the 70s. So I mean, it's pretty amazing. And that dude can play, man. I mean, he's great.
So do you like when you play with different, like when they say, oh, we got a guitar player or a drummer coming on doing a show with you, are you a little nervous about doing shit whenever it's different people? I mean, you're working with different people, man.
No, not necessarily. I mean, some of these guys have, you know, and I'm sorry, I'm not talking. The question was, you were asking me about me or my life. I'm just telling you about these musicians because I just feel so shocked.
Yeah.
That, you know, they don't ever say no these days. It's like they want to be around, or they'll call me, you know, if you got a nominated for a Grammy or something and you're calling my ass. I mean, you know, whatever. I always take care of my guys too. I mean, I pay them. Sometimes I don't get paid to make sure that they get treated right. And that's, you know, that's probably
I used to be the same way as you, bro.
You know, I mean, they're out there for, you know, it's my show. They're out there representing me, you know. I mean, it's hard to find guys that you can sit and get along with too long enough.
Right. I used to,
and that's in any business. I mean, you have good people that you work with. I mean, that's everything. You surround yourself with shit. I mean, you're gonna be shit. That's why I don't mind paying these guys, you know, damn near what their regular, Friday, Saturday night whole band is getting paid. This is what I'm paying these guys, no matter if
Right.
I gotta dig out of my own pocket.
I've done
I'm
it.
gonna
Yep.
pay you top dollar, man, because I appreciate your talent. You don't have to sit and we don't need to rehearse. Fuck, we don't need to waste any more time. If you don't know your instrument now, you better bring your ass back home. It's like, what the fuck you doing? And there's so much talent out there. I mean, I can't stress that enough, man. There's these kids that are like 14 years old. I'm 47 years old, and I've been playing this thing probably longer than their parents have been alive. It's
Oh,
like
wow.
the talent, raw talent. I mean, it's just amazing what kids are doing out there as far as the youth. And I'm sure it's in any genre, like comedy or acting. I mean, people are just we're progressing, but we're regressing socially. I guess
Yeah.
that's what I call it. But there's something different to be said too about the younger generation of musicians compared to some of these guys that are in their 60s and 70s, and this is what they've been doing their whole life. They know how to treat one another. I'm going to treat you as good as you treat me. I mean, some of these youngsters, they don't care. They'll trip you just to see you fall, so to speak. I don't know.
Right. Yeah,
And when you come to
that's great.
you come to my venue, I mean, you're going to get fed. I mean, most clubs and I hit the red marks more than I do the black marks in my place, but it's really about, I want everybody to have a chance. I was that same kid that, nobody, that's why I don't mind. Some bands, they like, oh, we don't want nobody on our stage. It's like, man, why wouldn't you want to play with somebody random,
I wish you lived closer to my bar. I'd have you come and do my place.
Nobody wants your business to be successful, so I won't perform well, I talk a lot of shit, but I mean,
I wish I lived closer to you guys, man. I'd be coming to your shit all the time, man. I
where
think
you
it'd be
live?
cool.
Where you
I
live?
live in Ohio.
Oh, right on. No, I was just through there, and I can't believe the tolls and how expensive Ohio is, man. It's like,
Well, Pennsylvania's worse. All the other states are worse than us.
because when I used to tour with the singer out of Chicago, we always went through to Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and the toll prices are insane from when I was going through that area like a decade ago. It's like good driving through New York. State of New York, it's crazy.
You need to have a job just to pay the tools.
Oh yeah. And we ran through a couple of them too back in September because I went out and played with Wade Jennings, Waylon's grandson.
Oh wow.
Him and our grandpas did stuff together back, before I was born. But so we got together and drove through there, and yeah, we drove straight through a couple of them. It was in the middle of the night, and we still haven't got a ticket. I was just thinking about that the other day. I didn't know you were from Ohio. I remember playing this gig there. Man, it must have been 2013 or 14, but it was called Heinz Briggs Farm. And I think it was just this town that was like south of, I believe, Toledo. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No,
But
I
there's
ain't
this
heard of it.
94-year-old guy that had been there since he was like 25 running
No
the
shit.
place. And Holland Wolf had a little shack out back there and lived there for a while.
Huh. Yeah, I lived down in Florida 10 years ago.
Oh, right on. But you should look that place out. I'm kind of almost curious, like if there was another place. Oh no, I'm thinking that's Indiana. Sorry, has to go. But yeah, no, that's actually where I met Alan Kirk.
Oh, really?
Drummers. My mom was on her deathbed, and he's like, I got this drummer, and I never heard of him. And then I seen all all the greats he played with from Chicago, and then I was like, oh, you must be all right. And this lady I'm not gonna burn her on social media. She would talk about going out and getting liquored up and wearing sexy negligee and whatever sexual innuendos in her music, like on during the night. But in the van on the way to the next gig, she was preaching the Bible.
No way.
Alan got in the van and she turned around. She was up in the riding shotgun in this Honda van we were driving around at that time. And she goes, I don't want no drinking or no drug using on my show. And that means even weed. And Alan leaned forward. He goes, "Woman, I'm gonna smoke 2 joints and drink a bottle of wine on your show. You hired me." And I was like, immediately, I love this guy. You might as well just tell that shit like it is. So I was like, she's like, "Don't ever hire him again." And I've been friends with him ever since. So it's kind of weird how you meet some of these people.
You know, Chad, what's his name? Chad Rosenkrantz?
Yeah, Rosenkrantz. Yeah, he works at Sweetwater.
He said, "You pretend you know a lot about music, but make sure you tell him I said that."
Oh, they're already bashing me on here.
Yeah.
Some people just
That's
can't resist, I guess, when it comes to stuff like that.
No, it's just amazing where life takes you. Sometimes you just don't know what to expect. I've got a record I'm going to be doing with I don't know exactly what his age is, but Johnny Rawls. He's kind of like the king of soul blues. He's he's an elder statesman. He's always up for like soul artist of the year. And I'm so excited. It keeps me up at night lately that I'm going to be doing a record with this guy in November.
Wow. That's awesome.
In Mississippi with them at the Ham Bone Festival and I'm not sure exactly what the dates are, but it's the end of October.
Now, do you ever sing do you ever sing for Sean on his show, or no, you don't do that?
I don't know.
Play guitar and sing?
Well, he sang for me like
I'm lazy.
Damn,
Damn, I'm lazy. I'll be like, fucking man, just play the CD.
Well, I mean, I got to hear him perform live before, and he's one of the reasons why our local casino used to do a very successful. Well, it was a blues fest. It was the Last Ride Blues Festival, and I'm just hoping that one day those people will say, "Hey, you know what? We got to bring it back because we shouldn't have stopped it." But now it's like we got to go to party.
I mean, a lot of those cats that were huge in music in general, like Coco Taylor, who was the queen of the blues.
Yeah.
And I believe John Mayall just died too, who, his original band had a 14-year-old guitar player by the name of Eric Clapton. Buddy guy played out there, Bo Diddley. They had some Joe Bonamassa when he first started up. That's where I met him out there. And then we ended up being on Piedmont, which is an agency is no longer. It was booking agency out of I can't even think. It was out on the East Coast anyway, but this guy they had a lot of good talent when I was a part of Piedmont. I mean, they had James Cotton, Anna Popovic, Joe Bonamassa, Walter Trout, Little Ed. So I mean, we're always playing at these big venues because we were fucking expensive back then. I wish I could get that money right now. But Steve was awesome.
Well, one thing I noticed in the bar business back in the day, you used to see bands all the time. Then it got into DJing, and DJ killed the bands because they could play whatever you wanted. And then it seems like it's starting to get a lot of bands now and a lot of solo players playing in places right now. You know what I mean?
Because the
recording.
bottom line, look at our compared, I mean, even to like the 90s or whatever, how inflation has really killed the arts. I mean, luckily we live in our state is awesome for as far as supporting, like my studio that I have 2 hit records in the last 8 months on is Equipment
Awesome,
State.
man.
And then now we're doing a thing through this, not the regional, also the Regional Arts Council here in Minnesota, but also the Arts Board in St. Paul, which we're trying to launch a film company here, where the studio where I'm sitting right now. So we're gonna have to acquire a bigger space besides the building at the bar and the studio and all that crap. Since I haven't really announced that at all, so it's kind of exciting to me because it's another way to create. Sometimes certain things get stale. I mean, that's why I'm throwing in the midst of this in November of doing this thing that's personally to me that I know that 50 years from now, if I record with this artist, that they're always going to look this guy up and just have him being a part of it. Sometimes that's showbiz, but he's a great guy. And he calls me up and tells me, I don't like the way you party. You need to slow that shit down. You got way too much talent to be fucking around with your life like that. You need people like that in your life. I mean,
you do.
Being 70 years old and a lifetime musician, I treat that with the most respect and honor that you would even be worried about me. I mean, So in between that, I'm going to pick up a kid that was on American Idol here a couple of years ago and gonna do a country record with him.
Oh, really? Who's that?
He's a young black kid. And
No
I don't
kidding.
mean this, I know people, if you're meeting me for the first time on here, I mean, I talk this way because I hang out with black musicians and black folks all the time. I don't treat them any different than I treat anybody else. So don't take anything personal, anybody.
No. I have a
But
lot
it's
of.
like weird. His name is Nuke Bushner, Antoine Bushner, and he's from he's from Kansas. But he's
Okay.
got one of the greatest country voices you ever heard. I call him Butter Voice. But he was up here a year ago. This is kind of a funny story. He was up here it'd be last Memorial Weekend last year. And so I got him a couple gigs while he was here. And we were supposed to be recording. We just screwed off for 2 weeks he was here, but his woman got jealous. And long story short, she was swerving down this double lane highway going from shoulder to shoulder, driving crazy basically. I mean, I was scared as hell, and I was like, Nuke, I had enough of this, grab the wheel. So at 100 miles an hour, I was sitting behind her and threw this damn thing and park at 90 miles an hour.
Oh, wow.
And you could hear the transfer. I'm trying to make this story short so it doesn't take long. Basically, long story short, I got out of this damn car and I grabbed my guitar and was walking. He got out of the car because she wouldn't let us out, got hitting the lock button. And I broke my hand because I was trying to fucking break this window because I'm getting out of this car while we're stopped, you know. So anyways, we walked a couple miles down. This is like at 2 in the freaking morning and there's nothing out there. All of a sudden you see the lights coming, the cops, and we're trying to flag them down, had to give us a lift. But somebody had called in and said there was a reckless driver on the highway. And so she ended up going to jail for DWI, and then she had her little son in the back. It was kind of a crazy night. So these cops circle back around and they come in three cars deep and they're like, who are you guys? And Nuke right away, he's a black kid. He's like, I'm a famous country singer. And he goes, this is little Bobby, he's a famous blues player. You know, and I'm pale as hell, you know, like, so right away, this cop thought we were up to something, you know, yeah, it's whatever. Finally, one of the deputies came up and he had Nuke's video or whatever from American Idol up. He goes, no, these guys are telling you the truth, you know. So they ended up giving us a ride and dropping us at the county line as the next sheriff's department picked us up and brought us all the way back to Polk County where I'm at and dropped us right outside the bar. And I had that last sheriff laughing so hard, he almost swerved off the road himself. I was like, okay, I said, I know you're from down south and shit, Nuke, but you know, we ain't ever gonna get this many rides in a cop car and not go to damn jail. He brought us home. It's cool.
That's an honor to get to ride in a police car.
Yeah, you got to be diverse. I mean, especially nowadays, things are moving way more faster. I mean, everything's instantly, and I mean, I can tell from success as far as like a radio airplay is not reflecting what I'm getting paid as I was 10 years ago, because people were still buying physical things like CDs, and now it's all download or they're streaming. So I mean, just for anybody out there that likes going out and supporting live music, buy their stuff. You know, that's the real money that keeps them eating and because you know, it's not like it was even pre-COVID. They should make that a rule. No talking about 9/11, no talking about COVID. That's
Yeah.
It was probably it's the same
it's
the same team that are, you know, we even got to jump down that rabbit hole. That's the same folks, you know, for that. But I mean, music industry hasn't really recovered. I don't think totally as far as on the street. I mean, it's harder. People are willing to play for less, or what it's coming down to, like you said, like these solo artists that are going out with an acoustic guitar. I do it myself to survive. I mean, that's honest talk.
I like that stuff, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you better be damn good and interesting, you know.
That's right. Yeah.
So a lot of times, you know, my show now is acoustic, you know, because I'm getting older and I like to talk a lot. It's like the older you get, the more you want to talk. But you know, I talk to the audience a lot more than I did 10 years ago. you know, because I could afford to have a 6-piece band. So I just, those times I'm talking now, I'm playing a 5-10 minute guitar solo.
I can vouch for that one for sure. His music has definitely changed, but he still has the passion for it, and that's something that never
Well,
goes
you can
away.
tell that.
You know,
You can tell that part.
doesn't matter how
does
old
have
you
a
get,
passion.
dude. Yeah, that's what I love about the guy. Bob's just so
I mean,
unique.
No, you got to be honest with what you're doing and love what you're doing in life. I mean, sometimes we get caught up in everything and forget what our
You still
real-
get nervous when you do the stage thing at all?
What do you mean? No,
You get nervous when
only
you get out
only
there?
if it's like where I know, or it's where like I played a bar in my hometown for the very first time like a couple weeks ago or a month ago or something. I was nervous wreck for that show because I'm gonna know every single person and they know me from growing up with them, that it's like that part makes it nervous. But going out there, I walk into it like I'm going in here to make sure they're paying attention to me and gonna love me before the time I leave here, you know.
I had a friend of mine tell me about comedy. I was really nervous going on stage all the time. And he said, that's normal, dude. He says, the day you're not nervous is the day you quit doing comedy, because that's what makes your show good. Because I used to almost throw up before I went on stage. But once I got on there, you couldn't get me to fuck off the stage. That's, you know what I mean? I was really nervous. You know how that goes. You
That's
start
it,
getting the crowd going, you're having fun. You don't really want to
Sure.
stop, do you?
There's never enough time.
Hour goes by quick, 2 hours go by quick, you know. Like,
Yeah. But I used to do, I'll tell you, I was shitting myself. I screaming at my manager, fuck you, I ain't doing this no more, fuck that. And he'd get, John, you're on stage. I go on stage and that was it, man. I fucking rock.
One thing I wish I could ever do on stage that I've never had the chance to do because nobody's ever invited me to do it. And I guess I've never really asked the right person or whatever, but like, I want to be like the MC. I want to be like the host of the event, you know, listen, be the announcer, be the main
thought that's
announcer
fun.
guy. I've never
It's
got
fun.
a chance to really do that other than when I DJ'd weddings back in like 2014 in South Dakota. That's the only time I've ever had to actually host something and have the spotlight be on the host of, you know, of whatever
Right.
we're doing. But
No,
I
it's
think
fun
I can
doing that.
handle it.
Yeah, you could.
Or a ring
You could.
announcer for a wrestling event or something or whatever, you know. Yeah. But I know never get asked, you know. I'm talented.
Even at a comedy show, I used to have a guy in Pittsburgh who was, you know, he wasn't a comedian, but one day he hosted a show. He must have did his homework because he was funny as fuck and he was good. He never did it in his life. He was actually good. You know, because I thought this guy's gonna fucking kill us. Then again, that's good because he'll make us funnier.
Well, there we go. We should do a comedy record. That's one thing I want to do. It's on my bucket
dude.
list. And I've been trying to get a couple friends of mine that I grew up with. One's actually on the air, the #1 station on our listening area anywhere up here. We've been talking about it for 10 years, and you can never get these two guys together at the same time. It's like
It's always so busy, yeah.
I grew up listening to Cheech and Chong, even though my dad never smoked pot, you know. Even when, you know, before I even really knew what the hell pot was. You know?
Right.
It was
I love
still
Cheech
funny.
and
I
I used to
love it.
love Cheech and Chong growing up.
Oh yeah.
They were my
It's
heroes. They
crazy
still
that-
are. They still are my heroes, dude. They're like fucking great.
They should do another movie. I know they're waiting for that big, somebody's gonna come along with a big paycheck. I hope before they get too fucking old.
Yeah.
Well, they're already in their 80s, aren't they?
They can't leave us with Corsican brothers, for Christ's sake. That's the
Yeah.
I hate that one for some reason.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, Sam, what do you think? You know, Lil Bobby, pretty cool
Lil
guy,
Bobby's
right?
the best, man. I love it, man. That was a great interview. I tell you what, you're an interesting guy. That's what
Even
I
though
gotta
they
say.
didn't learn shit about me.
Well, you're always welcome back again. You know that. I mean, anytime you
Anytime you want, Lil
want to do
Bobby.
something, you
I
know,
was trying
you
to dare that wild man to come on because that sounded like somebody crazy.
Oh, he's nuts. Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, you got to come on when he's there because you'll be like, shut
Where
this
you at?
motherfucker up.
Where are you at in Ohio? What part
I'm in
of
Ashtabula. It's like northeast Ohio. Like I'm at the
all
tip.
right. Right
But
on.
I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's where my bar's at. Then I
Oh,
moved to
right on.
Florida for 20 years. Then I moved up to Ohio. I don't know why, but I'm here.
It was a woman. It was a woman, wasn't it?
Yeah. My daughter had a baby. I had to be close.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? How are you dealing with being a grandfather?
It's fun, dude. It brings
I
out
didn't
the
like
younger
being.
guy again. I'm
I
65
love it,
years
but
old.
I loved it. I loved it at first. I loved it, but I did not like. Hey, grandpa, when they're referring to you as grandpa in the room, not just the kid. It's like keep that down a little bit.
Yeah, but my grandson, he's like huge for his age. He's 7 years old. He's huge. He's honest to God, you feel like if you're playing cards with him, you feel like you're with a grown up. He's going, "Oh, fuck this," and throw the cards. He's like, he cracks me up, man. He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, Pat, but I can't fucking stand this game and this and that." And he's losing, he quits. Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
Would he grow
You
up
never know
out
what he's going to
east
say.
or what? He must have grew up out east.
Yeah.
So how is what's the audience thinking all on Facebook there, John, or I'm going to say John.
They're watching. They're just party like a rock star. Stevie Ray Vaughan was. They love they love his music. It's there's people watching us.
We're gonna be getting Corey Siemens on here pretty soon. He got a hold of me after about a year or so. I sent him an email last year, and then his dad passed away, and he was going through some stuff, and he finally got back to me. And soon here, maybe a week or two, maybe or sooner than that, he's gonna be coming on the show. I'm gonna make sure he comes on the show, and if you're around when I know for sure he's gonna be here, maybe he's gonna come back and whatever, and continue.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen Corey for quite a while.
But he really wants to do an interview. It's like I always get a hold of him once in a while. I know I just try to get new people, and I'm trying. It's just that I like to see what the people I've had on my show that I know are going to say yes. I want to see what they're up to first, then it's like kind of like an update.
We got that comedian next week I told you about.
Yeah.
His name's Wolfie. And then I'm working on Bert Kreischer.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he back in the day, I met him. He loved me, man. I heard he talked about me on radio shows about the Sam Kinison guy. And so I've been trying to contact him and to come on the show maybe next weekend. Not this weekend.
In a couple of weeks anyway. Yeah.
I hope to have Wolfie. Wolfie's a funny dude, man.
Are you guys doing this? What is it? Every Sunday?
Yeah, it's a once a week podcast. I've been trying to find somebody to do a show with for quite a long time because I don't like doing. I mean, I don't mind doing stuff for myself, but I feel like I'm nobody wants to hear me talk or whatever and do a solo thing. I'd rather have somebody that I know that's at least in the entertainment business as well. I mean, I know you obviously, but you're busy. You have no time to do something like this all the time.
Hey, Tanya, who's Tanya? Tanya Nelson? Ask her about his new stage toy. What about your new stage toy?
Oh.
Yeah, she mentioned something about that
to me. No, I just acquired a Hammond organ about a couple weeks ago. And there's a couple ladies that do like the noon lunches and stuff here at the bar. I call them the church ladies or whatever, but
well, you guys always
they thought I was insane because I paid $1,000 for an organ. And it's like they give those away all the time, and it's like not these ones.
That's a good ones. Now you guys always have good food at that bar. Every time I've been over there, man, they always fill me up with good food, and it's always a good time. It's like Southern
you'd love it.
Barbecue.
Damn, you'd love this place, man. It should be somewhere else than where it is. I mean, I took all the first thing I did when I came in here is I took all the bar signs down. Everything that's on the wall is music related, even to our menu. So we got the Highway to Hell Burger, The Stairway to Heaven, The Simple Man.
wow.
Which, everything's music here. I mean, it's what it's all about, and it's in a building that was built in the 1880s, which originally was an opera house theater. So being an entertainer, that makes it kind of makes it interesting for me, like, because I love history, man. I mean, and it's got the original ceilings and stuff in here, so I mean,
That's awesome.
no, I love the place.
What's the name of the bar?
Little Bobby's, because I got an ego like a motherfucker.
Located. Oh, go ahead.
No,
Mine used
my
to be
whole
called, go ahead.
no,
Mine used to be called Hot Rod Cafe. We had all hot rod stuff, and then we changed it to Johnny's Bar. So took down
Everybody
all
knows
the hot.
somebody
Now it's
named
like
Johnny,
sports
though.
bar. Yeah,
Well, that's his real name.
that's my son. My son spells his name different than mine. Jonny.
Yeah,
So that's what the name of the bar is. Jonny.
right on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I haven't done any comedy here yet. I've done shit that music wise, everything from hip hop, country, bluegrass, blues, obviously.
That's
I
wild.
would like to try comedy here. I've never.
You like an open mic? I did that one time. I did like an open mic. You could bring comedy. You could bring your guitar and sing. You know what I mean? That gives people wanting a chance to go on stage. Dude, you might find someone come on stage as an amateur and fucking play a guitar and sing like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? I did that one time. I found this one dude. He was good. I said, you need to be out there, bro.
Yeah, both
You know?
the last two records, I have two guest singers on there, females that I met at my place. The one actually was her name's Lydia Christensen, and we basically discovered them because they're playing at the VFW in my hometown, Thief River.
Oh, wow.
Never heard the name, so I was like, babe, let's go check these out and see if we want to hire them. And here was a dad and his 3 kids, and a 13-year-old son, 14-year-old on the drums, and then his daughter, who's I think she's 22 now, but
Right.
I was just reminding my family, like me and my sister, my brothers, and my dad get together and playing music. So that was appealing to me. And it's like, man, this girl has got a voice. And she came to the studio one day and talked to her, and I said, man, you should just come by and let's just fool around in the studio and see if we can come up with something. And literally the night before, got a blessing of a song. And I was like, I already sang it all out and recorded it all the night before. And she came in there and I was like, I got this great song I just wrote yesterday. I said, you should try singing this first verse and just see what it sounds like. So I muted my track. As soon as she did the first run, she goes, how'd that go? And I said, you know what? I said, you're singing on this song, but I want one verse of it because I don't want you to get all of it.
Oh, wow. That's cool, man.
Then the other gal just came in and we had a jam night, and she came and sang. Somebody that was on a construction crew that rented one of the apartments in the upstairs of the building here. And her name's Sarah Munson, and she sings on a song called Mercy, which is on the charts right now, the rock blues albums, top 50 US here. But
oh, wow.
Just a great person. And I mean, you never know who you meet, man. I mean, sometimes,
You're right.
more times than none, like I said, getting old, sometimes you see shit a little bit different because you get a little bit wiser every day, but things happen for a reason. God has us here for a reason.
That's right.
I don't think anything's an accident anymore. I mean, that's
Yeah.
Back in the day, we did.
It was weird. Like, for instance, the last big moment I had was just a couple nights ago because I had borrowed my brother's guitar acoustic for this gig, and his daughter just passed away, Kelly, cancer, like 33 years old. So she's got a teenage boy that's left behind, and they didn't know that Grandpa had brought his guitar over here, and that's the same one I played at his mom's funeral. So this kid shows up like the next day, and that guitar, he wanted the jam, brought his guitar down to the bar. Here's do you remember this guitar? He goes, that looks like Grandpa's guitar. I said, that is Grandpa's guitar that was at your mom's funeral. So he sat and played it for an hour. That was cool. I mean,
I bet that was awesome.
nothing's an accident, man. Everything's
I love that stuff. I love it. You own your building in your bar?
Huh?
You
Oh,
own
yeah.
that building?
Yeah.
So do I. It's the only way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, leasing is, well, you're just throwing money away. It's just like renting an apartment. I've lived in one apartment in my whole life, or maybe two. And I just look at that as throwing money away. You know, at least you own the property,
Right,
regardless what the business does. I mean, you're still buying the property,
right.
paying for the property.
Yeah, I wish I lived closer to mine so I could do what you're doing, you know what I mean? Have things going on there all the time, but I'm not there. I'm 2 hours away and it's
You're
like
not that
kind
far
of
away.
fucked up.
You should come and do a Sam Kennison show, man. Well, around here.
I mean, that would be that would be great, you know. Then
I was thinking about that clip. I wonder if that was his audition for Back to School, or I wonder if that's where they came up
It's
with
not,
it.
a little bit, it had a little bit of back to school, like,
Yeah,
Was that clip before that movie, or was it?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know.
that's funny. I don't know.
That's
It
my
doesn't really say.
favorite part in any movie he's ever been in, is that teacher.
I'm good friends with his family too, man.
He was the American history teacher or whatever. And
Yeah.
I love Rodney Dangerfield. I don't know how I stumbled. I was just going through like stand-up shit, and his shit popped up. And lately, if I'm bummed out, I just put the best of Rodney Dangerfield and just let that shit play.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, a lot of
Whatever
people don't
happened to
really-
the one-line comics? A lot of these comics
Yeah.
have drawn out stories. It's like
Yeah, well,
those witty motherfuckers from back in the day.
There are some funny, there's some funny motherfuckers out there, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
they were clever.
I used to write my
Yeah.
own bits. I used to write my own show, write my own bits and play it as Sam Kinison. You know what I'm saying? That was fun.
No,
You
that'd
know, a lot of people are like, I don't remember Sam doing that joke. I says, because I wrote the motherfucker, you know, but they liked it
hell yeah. I
because
can
it's
give-
different.
To give a sample what you did. If you remember, do you remember any jokes or whatever that you did?
But I
Paul?
wrote when
Oh,
Paul
that you
did,
wrote?
like one of the jokes I wrote is whenever Clinton was president, I says, one of my jokes is we get rid of Bush with a vice president dick, and then we get Clinton in the office who couldn't keep his dick out of Bush.
There you go. Family hour, family entertainment for you, everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you asked for it, I gave it to you.
There you go. There you go. Well, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you, Bob. I mean, I really
Yeah,
do.
Bob. Hey, Bobby, I'm glad you came on, dude. Glad I got to meet you.
Yeah, shit, man. We'll have to get you up here, man.
Well,
You never know,
if you
bro.
do, let me know because we can do something. Because I have wheels too now, so I mean, I got a different vehicle now. So
What are you
That's
doing
probably
on
sound
Halloween?
Yeah, good for you.
What do you do? Is your name John then?
Yeah, real name's John, but I own Screaming Sam.
You
I
should
own that
come up.
name.
What are you doing on Halloween? Let's book it
Oh,
right
God.
now.
I'm always busy with the grandson. That's what I'm
Bring
saying.
him with. Dress him up like Sam Jr.
Well, his grandson probably looks just like him, so it's just like it's unbelievable how similar he looks. You know, just like a younger version of Sam here, dude. So it's crazy.
I walk around with a steering wheel like gets on my head going, what the fuck happened? Jesus Christ. You know?
Well, anyway, like
That
I
was a
said,
sick joke.
yes. We appreciate you, Bob. We thank you for being a part of the show, and well, you're our second guest now. We had a Waterboy on last week, and that was Sam's friend from his TV show days. See, he used to do kind of like what we kind of did at the radio station, kind of like a public access type of stuff, like that type of stuff. So
You gotta play my Fox News thing one day. My
What's
Fox
that?
News interview.
Oh, you're
the
on
show.
there? Oh, you?
Yeah. Can you look at it? Can you look it up?
can I find it? I mean, I
It's
can
on my
probably
Sam,
look.
it's on my Sam Lutz.
Okay, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, he's got to see this. It's only 3 minutes long. And plus some of these people didn't never see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it here. Let me just hold
Yeah,
on.
if you can find it, I want little Bobby to see that, man. I think he'd like that. But this is what I used to do, man, all the time. I used to
Let's see.
see, yeah, it's on my Sam Lutz page.
On the Facebook there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Folks, stick
Everybody-
around. 'Cause this is good.
Let's see.
Don't show no porn.
Not trying to.
Yeah,
Not
don't
trying
pop your
to.
history up on there.
Funny. I can't, when people do that stuff on the freaking story mode or whatever, it's like lately I've been getting a lot of weird stuff. I don't know why. Would it be under
That's-
videos of Sam or Sam?
Yeah, is that Sam Lutz?
Yeah, is it videos of
Yeah,
Sam?
scroll
Or
down.
okay. Yeah, well, I guess it's on video. I'm guessing it's on the other one here. That's right
Yeah,
here.
maybe.
Don't see the Fox logo here.
Here's some of my show right there.
Oh,
You can play a piece of my show.
yeah,
But the Fox News was the one I wanted you to.
yeah. I don't see it at all.
No kidding. Okay.
Would it not have like the Fox logo and all?
We
Or
might have it.
oh, maybe right here. Probably right here.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, yeah, let's play that.
All right, we'll play
You'll
it for
like
you.
it.
Our Fox focus tonight is on the next big star. We've seen several of them crowned on American Idol. But as Fox 13's Lloyd Sauer shows us tonight, now TV stars can be on the internet.
Lights, camera,
Action! It's the Screamin' Sam Show. Woo! Hey, how you doing, everybody? Oh!
he bears a striking resemblance to the late Sam Kinison.
Afraid? I was married for 2 years. What are you gonna do? Scare me?
Screamin' Sam is John Lutz. By day, he rents U-Hauls.
Oh!
But on Wednesday and Sunday nights, he's the star of his own TV show, live on the internet.
Say it! Say it!
I am the king of internet TV, and what's nice about that is I capture audience from all over the world to come to me.
The studio is full of TV equipment and computers, feeding a distributor that streams it live on the web. Everything is here, including the kitchen sink. The studio is in a home just north of Tampa.
Now anybody can broadcast with very little technology and costs just about anything they want.
Chris Conklin is a former news producer at a TV station. Now he runs the broadcast on ScreaminSam.com, envisioning a whole new world.
We feel that the internet market is actually going to grow larger than the network television market.
This is before the internet even took over.
Is a new frontier on the web, giving performers like Screamin' Sam a potential audience of millions on computers all over the world.
The web used to be mostly letters and numbers, but now
broadcasting right over the internet. Really exciting.
the net is exploding with video. Sites like YouTube have everything from cat drinking to woman dancing and everything in between.
This is the glory of the internet. This is terrific opportunity for people.
Freaking Harold Ramis over here.
But Finberg says homegrown TV faces obstacles, like enough money to compete with mainstream media, and
The number one obstacle is getting people to know that it's out there.
Welcome back to the Scream Sam Show, folks.
Sam says he gets more viewers every week.
The guy tells me all the time, because my buddies from over Baghdad listen to your show, over the war. And I went, you're kidding me? He goes, no, man. He says, they love you. They laugh. And
Guiding the clicks through a digital universe to a homegrown TV show. It's the challenge for the would-be stars of the internet. Lloyd Sauers, Fox 13 News.
By the way, ScreaminSam.com hopes to begin selling advertising and some live.
Yeah, that put me on the map at one time.
Oh,
Pretty good, huh?
I'm gonna give Sean my info. Give me a call. Let's get you up here.
Okay, we'll try. Yeah.